So what is going on the Twitch platform as of 2024? We're going to find out. We're going to watch their announcement at TwitchCon of all of the updates they're doing and kind of discuss the direction of the platform and what's been happening with it. And we'll kind of end up full circle figuring out what is going on with the platform, what is happening with the declining viewership, and so on. So thanks for joining me. Let's get started. So we're going to look at what's going on with Twitch. So every year Twitch has like this opening ceremony thing. They talk about like what's going to happen with Twitch. The last like several years have been really uneventful. I don't think this is going to be any different. So we're going to go through it pretty quickly. My guess here is they're probably going to announce like some upgrade to 1080p and probably some update with AV1 and maybe some update with like VOD playback.
In case you didn't know, I'm Dan Clancy, CEO of Twitch. Okay? Got that out of the way. All right, it's always great to come together for TwitchCon in such a beautiful city. I hope all of you are as excited to be here as I am. So we've got so much in store for you this weekend. But before we really get into things, I want to give a big thank you to our presenting sponsors, AT&T, Capcom, Chevron, and Samsung.
Those are big sponsors, actually. Good job, Twitch sales team. This is a deliverable line item. So there's actually a price attached to what he just did, right? He did that call to action in the title ceremony is like 30,000 bucks per sponsor or something like that. Some crazy number like that.
Now, one of my favorite things about TwitchCon is that the moment you walk through these doors, it's impossible not to feel a sense of community.
He's such a better public speaker than Emmett Shear.
We all crave. Our mission is to create belonging by enabling streamers to build community.
Dan's been an amazing upgrade to Twitch. He is and he isn't. Like, he's such a good person when it comes to like interacting with broadcasters and like the public-facing community, but he doesn't drive shareholder value. Like the company's still not profitable. It's exactly what I said in like my prediction video. It's like that I made like years ago when he came on. It's like Dan is a really nice guy, and it's really cool to see him interact with people on streams and do all these collabs and stuff. But he's not the type of executive that's like gonna make the hard decisions to like push Twitch out of the red, and that eventually is gonna cost them a lot, maybe the platform.
And when people are able,
I still think he's like miles above Emmett Shear as a CEO, though.
Together, Kai's sleepover stream with Kevin Hart and Drewski went viral, breaking the North American viewership record with over 720,000 concurrent viewers.
That was legitimately like one of the best pieces of content this platform's ever had.
Pirate Software smashed the previous Hype Train record with the support of his community, reaching level 106.
Kai Cenat is like the person they should really hype, because Kai Cenat like actually grew on live streaming. Like Pirate Software exclusively, and most people that are going to be mentioned here are exclusively grown from YouTube. Pirate Software basically grew from shorts. He's also like a phenomenal content creator, but he grew from shorts basically.
Coco, we need to do a better job keeping people engaged with Twitch even when they get busy.
Okay, this is the most important part of the talking.
Who come at least 14 days a month and watch over 70 hours make up over 60% of our daily audience.
Hold on. Sorry, I gotta hear that again.
Who come first, we need to do a better job keeping people engaged with Twitch even when they get busy. Regular streamers who come at least 14 days a month and watch over 70 hours make up over 60% of our daily audience.
Okay, so I think what he just said there, he said he didn't say it right, but he's saying regular viewers that come at least
now streamers who come at
regular
least
viewers
14 days a month and watch over 70 hours make up over 60% of our daily audience.
Let's just write down what he said. Regular viewers that show up at least 14 days a month and watch 60 hours of content make up over what?
Audience. Regular streamers who come at least 14 days a month and watch over 70 hours.
70 hours.
Make up over 60% of our daily audience.
Holy shit. That's awful. That's so bad. That literally means like your entire website is the same people, and you're not onboarding anybody. Like if you think about that churn against like YouTube, he said streamers, but he means viewers, because streamers don't watch 70 hours of content and make up a daily audience. He obviously means viewers. He misspoke. That's actually a really bad stat, because what that's saying is that like the only people that use Twitch are super power users. That means they can keep attention span. So it does mean that, and that's good, but it means that like the only people that watch Twitch are like super dedicated users, because otherwise if you had like a lot of users that just sort of casually interacted with the platform, which would equal more users, then you would have a lower average. He literally just defined a power user: a person that shows up half the month and watches 70 hours of content, which is the equivalent of 2 weeks at a full-time job, is a power user.
Less time available. They sometimes just drift away.
Do you see what he's saying? Is like, okay, just understand what he's saying, and that like it's proving my point, right? Listen.
People get busy and have less time available. They sometimes just drift away.
What he's telling you right now is that the entire platform is basically power users, and whenever somebody gets a life, they leave. That's a huge problem, right? Because like unlike YouTube, where you can literally go onto a video and watch it for 4 minutes, then get back to your life. The problem is that they're having a huge amount of issues. Once power users, like, I don't know, get a girlfriend, go get a job, do like literally anything, like they don't engage with the website anymore. That's the problem he's talking about. You just have to go through the CEO speak.
We need to make it easier for them to stay connected to the communities you have created through shorter, more frequent mobile sessions, and by helping streamers more easily share content on third-party social media platforms.
Yeah, that's right. So that he's going to announce a bunch of... He realizes how important the Twitch app is on mobile.
We made big updates to the mobile app this year, and I want to acknowledge that many of you were frustrated with some of these updates.
Bad mobile app.
Yes, we heard. We've heard your feedback.
What do you not like about it? The problem with the mobile app right now is that it decentivizes people you actually want to watch and serves you a bunch of random freaking streamer clips that you don't care about. And so it's trying to be TikTok, but like TikTok has an algorithm that is literally plugged into your brain and is listening to you talk off your phone and knows exactly the type of content that you want to watch. Twitch is serving you like literally random crap from streamers you don't care about. And so most people are not trained to consume the app in that way. I literally just want to watch like Soda or Asmon or something on my app, and it takes me like fucking 17 clicks to get there.
Our previous mobile app was basically a port of the website to mobile, and we have not updated the app in 7 years. Mobile has changed a great deal in this.
That is such an insane thing to say in 2024. We haven't updated our mobile experience, which is 45% of our users, in 7 years. Battle brother, you have just gone full heretic.
Expect to be able to quickly get to content. And this is particularly true for new viewers. Over 70% of our viewers come to Twitch for the first time on the mobile app. And we need to do a better job.
This is what I mean by like Twitch being such an insanely incompetent organization. 70% of users come to Twitch first time through a mobile app that they haven't updated in 7 years. Do you realize what an insane thing that is? Like, that is, imagine being in any company and you're like, okay, where does 7%? Where does 7% of our user acquisition come from? Oh yeah, it comes from the phone. Okay, next topic. You don't even discuss that. Like, if 70% of your total new users, like, we wonder why Twitch is down year over year. If 70% of your new users come in through something that hasn't been updated in 7 years, and then you wonder why you're down like 10% YOY, like, come on, that is crazy. Why is he posting his L's like this? Genuine question. This is a good thing for a CEO to do. I think CEOs taking massive ownership of problems within companies is really admirable, and I think Dan's a good executive for doing it. The problem is that like the product team doesn't have the ability to make good on these promises. So like Dan himself, like if this entire organization was Dan's, we would get, what's going to happen here is like he's going to tell us all the ways that this should be improved, but we're not going to get any like actionable changes, because once his messaging filters down into the product teams, it gets lost in the bureaucracy. That's the problem.
So we launched a new video player, which has reduced buffering, particularly for users on cellular networks. And we fixed a number of bugs that have been reported by the community. We're also going to continue working on the performance of the app, because that is one critical component of this experience.
This is literally functionality they've had on their website for like fucking 10 years, right? Like I can go to this on the website since like, I don't know, 2015. All functionality you can just have in the desktop.
In the following months, we're going to further improve the feed by letting you filter by a specific category or collection.
But nothing for discovery. Like none of this helps creators yet.
Now, we plan to keep evolving the mobile app experience to meet your needs, and we appreciate your feedback.
You know what's crazy? Can we talk about clips for a second? Twitch had clips and shorts figured out like before YouTube shorts and before TikTok was even on the market, and they didn't do anything with it for years. If all they had done was make like a twitch.tv/clips, and then they had made that like algorithmically driven, they would have like cornered the market on shorts before anybody got into it. But they were so lazy, they literally didn't allow there was literally no way to share clips besides manual links. And clips wouldn't have had any pickup whatsoever if it wasn't for our livestream fail, which was the only like clip aggregator. So they literally relied on Reddit. And by the way, this existed for like 4 or 5 years. This was like the case for like 4 or 5 years, that the exclusive way to find anything via clips was literally LSF and Reddit. And like, I think to this day, we still don't have like a reliable clip discovery system. If all you did was just copy Reddit, if all you did was just add like an upvote system for clips, like in-house discovery on the platform, you could have literally made so much money. And then not only that, you could have also run ads against it, and it would have been super cool. Oh, and it would have helped people get discovered. So like, I'm so uninterested in any updates to clips on the Twitch platform, because I feel like all of that is circumvented by the superior discovery of TikTok and YouTube Shorts at this point.
Yeah,
that said, like, okay, I do think that like once they update this clip stuff, I actually do think that it will improve discoverability for creators. It's just so late. What prevented this kind of stuff from being implemented before? Just too many cooks. Like, so many problems with tech organizations can be summarized by too many cooks. So a lot of, you probably have heard about corporations, and you've probably heard that corporations can kind of do two things, right? They can either be these pyramidal organizations, or they can be what's called a flat organization. And throughout 2000, like 5-ish, but probably no, 2005 was like EverQuest-ish, like 2010-ish to like 2000 to now, like flat organizations became more popular. The idea was that if you had like a lot of different people collaborating at the same levels of authority, then more stuff would get done, and it would also be like more inclusive. And the idea of like having like big bad CEOs at the top level, was starting to go out of fashion, and so people wanted to like have more agency to be able to make decisions at these levels. Okay, and the idea, and so you saw things like at Riot Games, where the CEO of Riot Games would sit in an office with literally like product developers and people like right next to him and make the same decisions. So the problem with this is a couple of things. It actually turns out that the people that raise up to C-level and VP levels, not always, but often, are far more competent than the people that are at lower levels of management. And so when you put them on the same level and you give them less decision-making power, their ability to push things through the company disappears. But even if you don't consider that, having one person that says, okay, guys, this is what we're going to do. We're going to push this forward. Let's get it done now. When you eliminate that kind of impetus, what happens is like you get these meetings where you'll have what's called ICs, which are individual contributors. All of these people are individually contributing to the project, and every one of them has a different opinion of how it should go, and they're all trying to contribute that opinion, and they're all trying to get that stuff featured, but there's no authority matrix. And so what ends up happening is that like the product gets like 50 kind of half-done, half-baked features, and nothing ever gets done. And like nobody actually has the authority level to say, hey, can we like cut all the bullshit and actually push this through? And so like if you ever see like an enormous amount of bureaucracy happening at any of these like sort of FANG corporations, like this is what's happening. These kind of problems, like at a lot of levels, they plague Google, they plague Twitch, they plague like Netflix. That like there's just too much going on. And in reality, like what you should, and this is why like as much as like I have a lot of problems with Elon as a person and also what has happened at Twitter, and I just made a video about that. One of the things that I really appreciate about Elon is what he did at Twitter when he literally went through, he emailed every IC at Twitter. This is an insane thing to do, by the way. He emailed every IC at Twitter with like a very simple message. What did you get done this week? And if you couldn't answer that question, you got fired. And so as a result, like 50 or 60% of people literally got fired overnight. And I wish I could have kept all of the doomer posts where like, do you guys remember this? Like people were saying goodbye. They were like literally like deleting their Twitter accounts, or like literally this was the last day of the platform because the platform was going to shut down. The platform literally had zero downtime. Nothing ever shut down. Everything was much more efficient. And that was exactly what I said was going to happen. But like everyone's like, no, like the platform's going to be over. Like it ended up that like literally 50 to 60% of the people at Twitter did not need to be there. Like actually just like didn't need to work there. So I think that what has happened with a lot of these like flat organizations like this is that the true decision makers and like the really legitimate ICs have been buried under mounds and mounds of bureaucracy. And like if you're like an A+ player and you really just want to push it and get stuff done, the last thing you want to do is sit in a meeting and with like 15 people talking about, oh, like, well, this particular feature is not inclusive enough. This particular feature needs like a bunch of like different updates, like whatever. You want to just get stuff through. And so like when that doesn't happen, like those people get bored and they leave for companies where they can make more of an impact, or they go to startups. And that's what sort of happened with, I think, with like a lot of these FANG organizations. That's the problem that Twitch has right now too. Twitter's lost a lot of that stability though. No, its uptime is still 100%. The problems that have happened with Twitter is a result of Elon's bad decision making, but it's not a result of a lack of staff.
Now, I'm excited to announce a feature that you've all been waiting for: shared chat during a stream together session.
I think the whole stream together like collaboration thing is a good idea.
Once you're collaborating and stream together, starting a shared chat is as easy as clicking one button. When shared chat begins, chats are merged with messages shared to each channel in the collaboration.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to bring collaboration in-house so that like that exists on Twitch instead of like having to Discord call someone. It's like convenient, but I don't know if it like meaningfully moves the needle. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to encourage collaborations. The stream drop-in feature is like really, really weird because like I can go to SFan's stream right now and I can like knock on his channel and then he gets like a notification from, it's like, oh, Devin Nash wants to talk. And I feel like that's going to be disruptive to a lot of broadcasters that are just kind of doing their own thing. Like 99% of us just kind of like want to run our own show, I guess. Like, so I don't like really see the improvement in that, but I don't know.
So now let's talk about some of the updates to enhanced broadcasting, which we launched last year in partnership with NVIDIA and OBS.
This sounds like a 1440p / AV1 announcement.
Built on the enhanced RTMP specification, gives streamers more control over their video quality via client-side encoding.
Yeah, so this is NVENC encoding, which is such an insanely good thing, actually. But it's exclusively NVIDIA that figured this out with OBS. I don't think Twitch did anything here.
By letting you send multiple video qualities directly when streaming from OBS or XSplit.
YouTube already has it. The reason why they can do this is because now they don't have to pay the processing fees, right? Because now your graphics card is encoding that and then sending it directly to the server, so they don't have to actually encode it on their side. But YouTube already, every one of you watching on YouTube is already watching this in 1440.
Also be supporting HEVC transcoding early next year in enhanced broadcasting.
Cool. The number of, so one of the things with 4K is a huge meme, both on YouTube and on Twitch, because the number of people that can actually process 4K from a bandwidth perspective, even in the first world, is still like really small. So 4K is like kind of a meme. You want to be creating features that appeal to like second and third world audiences, because that's where like all of your growth is going to come from. Nobody like really meaningfully cares about 4K as a means of discovery.
Next year, enhanced broadcasting will also enable you to stream both vertical and landscape video at the same time, so your viewers can get an optimal viewing
you can do this with a plugin of OBS
experience that you control.
I guess it's cool they're bringing this in-house, though.
No matter what kind of device they're watching from. This year we launched Power-Ups. Now, Power-Ups are a fun and interactive way for viewers to influence streams while supporting the streamers they love. Since we launched Power-Ups, we've seen more than 4 million redemptions.
The newest way to engage with communities on Twitch using bits, viewers can redeem unique rewards that enhance what's happening on the stream. Power-ups are available within any affiliate or partner channel. Monetized streamers can earn revenue from power-ups. To join the fun, simply launch the power-ups. Oh, do the streamers set what these rewards are? Gigantify an emote, on-screen celebration, drink coffee. No one ever uses it? You can make a giant emote. Okay.
Now we're working on a feature that combines the fun of power-ups with the community experience of Hype Train, all using bits. With just one tap, you'll be able to react to a moment in the stream with an emotion or a sentiment.
TikTok.
Like a laugh or a heart.
They saw how insane this is for TikTok Live, and they're like, we literally have to implement this stat. From a business standpoint, this is a super good decision because, dude, this freaking farms money on TikTok. It is so crazy. And it's also a good idea for them to do this via bits because bits are such they're such like a sleazy way to get a huge percentage of money from the user. Like, what is the split on bits? So if you buy bits, it's like, what's the split that Twitch gets? It's like insane. Yeah, this is absolutely a feature. As an evil CEO myself, this is absolutely a feature that I would implement as fast as possible.
From there, others can join in to add their reaction and support.
Do you guys think this is disruptive to streams?
Turning taps into I was there when it happened moment. We want our rules to be easy to follow, and we want you to be able to learn from your mistakes. So we're making a few updates soon. First, we're going to be giving you more clarity about violations.
I think that
later this year,
I think that one thing we need to give Twitch credit for is they've actually done really well with the ban system. You guys remember when it used to get banned for just the dumbest shit imaginable? Like the trust and safety team basically had like total power over everything, and that stuff like mostly doesn't happen anymore or gets reversed really quickly. I think they've addressed the ban situation really well, and that most people that get banned probably deserve to be.
In sharing an excerpt of chat if the violation occurred in chat. And then early next year, we'll begin providing a clip of violations that happened during a live stream or VOD, so you can see exactly what happened.
Because all the edgy streamers have left? Maybe.
So maybe. You can see what you did, what policies were violated, and if you feel our decision was incorrect, you can appeal.
This is objectively good, though, like getting exactly what you were banned for. This is a good update.
Let's get to strikes. As you all know, currently strikes last forever, and there is confusion on how partners and non-partners are treated. We've seen that the permanent strikes are a big problem for streamers who have been streaming for a long time, as they could be banned for small infractions. And we're working on a big change to our strike system, and strikes will now expire over a certain amount of time.
Yeah. I just feel like they're so far behind. Like, none of this is innovative. Like, all of this is stuff. Like, this is YouTube. All the changes we just saw was, like, TikTok stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, all of this needs to be on the platform, but none of it is, like, changes that actually move the platform forward. It's all, like, stuff that, you know, yeah. This is, like, a really great thing. Like, and it's good that that strikes expire and stuff. Once you have a total of 6 active strikes, your account will be suspended indefinitely.
So then you can learn from your mistake and move forward from it and leave it in the past as you evolve what you do on stream.
I actually really like this, though. I like that they're doing 6 versus YouTube doing the 3. I think that 3, especially when it includes copyright violations, can result in people getting banned and like losing their entire channel with like no recourse. And that pretty much prevents this with Twitch. I like this update a lot.
So, connection and engagement are essential to building strong community. That's true on stream, but it's also true when it comes to Twitch and our streamers. A big part of our job at Twitch is communicating with our streamer community so that you know what we are doing and why we are doing it.
It also prevents, you know what it also does is like the Voldemorts that like get banned like 15 to 16, 17, 18, 20 times that know what they're doing. They're pushing like the sexual misconduct like type rules like over and over again. In theory, that should give them a strike system that actually gets them permanently banned. I don't know if Twitch is willing to actually do that. Like, because a lot of those creators drive a ton of revenue for them. So I'd be like pretty impressed if they actually permanently ban those streams, but we'll see.
We also have an important role to help community members connect and engage with each other. So Patch Notes has become a touch point between Twitch and our streamers, and we continue to pair that with live streams specifically dedicated to important announcements so that we can offer clarity and information. Now, as we think about engaging directly with more streamers, Spanish language streams have grown to be the second most popular language after English.
Yeah, this is eBay type stuff. Like, the best thing they could announce here is like an auto translation feature. This would be an example of like getting ahead of YouTube. I know they're not going to do this, but like if they were able to announce something that auto translated in closed caption, which YouTube is working on right now,
with over 2.4 billion
this would be so cool.
In 2023.
There's no way they're going to announce that though. There's no way.
So this is a massive accomplishment, and Spanish language streamers are creating some of the most entertaining.
They need to cater to
Twitch
Spanish language on Twitch so bad though.
To engage with Spanish-speaking streamers, we launched our first ever Spanish language stream on /Twitch, Vamos. It's a new quarterly series where myself and Spanish-speaking Twitch staff discuss the latest announcements and chat with
is there a translator?
And highlight some of the cool stuff they're doing. And
they have a physical translator
to provide live translation.
They have a physical translator. Okay. I don't know what I expected.
Twitch streamer Susie Rocks provided live translation and did a great job creating a seamless multi-language viewing experience. So those are just some of the ways we're engaging with streamers.
YouTube literally announced like not even 5 days ago that they're going to be putting automated translation in videos, and they're rolling that out in like the next 2 months. And this is like, hey guys, we had a stream with a person translated in real time. That's like some United Nations level of backwards.
But we also know that there are so many benefits to helping streamers engage with each other. Last month, we successfully launched our first 2 creator clubs, focusing on DJs and IRL streamers. And we're thrilled to announce the next 4 creator clubs, artists/makers, music, VTubers, and co-working/coding.
What is this? What's a club? Geared around helping streamers find communities, clubs are inspired by Twitch's Unity guilds. Club members will have exclusive access to a dedicated Discord server managed by Twitch staff. They can connect with other creators within their community. It's a Discord. Okay. It's like a Discord for partners and affiliates to get together of the same ilk. So like all DJs can talk within a Discord moderated by Twitch staff. Cool. Sounds like resources I'd rather go to new features, but okay. Cool. So I guess we get 1440p. The mobile app. He never went back to that, did he? He was talking about the mobile app, and he was like, there's going to be some stuff, and we fixed some bugs, but then no part of the announcement actually addressed anything about the mobile app, besides the part where he said everything that was wrong with it. Most important part of this entire announcement was when Dan said this stat. This, to me, kind of like summarized the entire announcement. That regular viewers show up at least 14 days and watch 70 hours of content, make up like 60% of the audience. This is why year over year you're seeing like stagnancy here. And I think that the stats speak for themselves. The number of hours watched is going down, and the number of average viewers is going down. The number of peak viewers is going up because events are carrying the platform. That's people like Kai Cenat and eBay. But like the overall engagement with the platform is going down. In 2023, those numbers were even worse. And a 5% decline in platform adoption is significant compared to like YouTube and TikTok that are still growing. So and then in 2022 we saw a 7% decline in average users watched and average viewers. What's happening here is that the majority of Twitch users are power users, and a lot of them are just growing out of the platform. So they're growing out of the platform because the content on Twitch, for the most part, is not changing. And like, as much as I respect these individual content creators, pretty much everyone on this list right here, and these are all like 20K plus people, whether I clicked on their stream in 2020 or I clicked on their stream in 2024, if you removed the date from the stream and you removed like the current events, you wouldn't really be able to tell that it's any different. And so that's like, it's not a comment on the content creators. It's like the platform itself is just not innovating in terms of content, with like a few exceptions. The only thing that I think, the only people that I really think are like advancing the platform forward are like people like Kai Cenat, who are doing like Elden Ring playthroughs and stuff that's like really unique. And but those are so few far in between, like people that are actually creating events. It feels like to me that the vast majority of Twitch streamers are literally just phoning it in. Like they're on like the really popular people are on year like 8 or 9 of their broadcast, and they're generally pulling in like, you know, north of like 300 or 400K a year, and they just don't see the reason to innovate. Yeah, actually, that's a really good way to describe it. So a miracle from Twitch says it's a retirement home. Yeah, that is kind of how it feels like. It kind of has that energy when I go watch. And I feel like the reason why YouTube is able to prevent this is because the way YouTube is set up, for better or worse, is very feast or famine. So when you go see a YouTube video, that video needs to compete in terms of watch time and AVD and like interest against like every other piece of content that you could otherwise watch on the platform. I feel like the problem is like, man, like if you aren't incentivized as a broadcaster, like I've said this before, right? A lot of times that Twitch is like very much a kingmaker system. So Soda Poppin', Zach, and like Hassan, like here they are on the top, and they've just always been there, and their broadcast hasn't like meaningfully changed from like 4 or 5 years ago, because what incentive do they have to change it? Like Hassan has been the top political streamer on Twitch since Destiny got banned. All he needs to do is like pull up CNN and like react to like kind of whatever Joe Biden or Donald Trump is doing, and bam, he gets, you know, a couple $1 million a year. There's just no real reason for him to innovate. It's not his fault. It's just like the platform set up these kingmakers, and so they kind of just do the same thing because they don't have any incentive to do different. Whereas I feel like with YouTube, you have to push the algorithm constantly to make better content against the other people that you're competing with. And so what ends up happening, I think, is you get very little innovation, with some exceptions. Like I think that Vidal is another one of the people that's like really leading the platform in terms of creativity, but it's just not enough to bring these numbers up. Like when I'm seeing 5 and 7% declines year over year, here's the COVID hype like type of thing. And then like the fact that it wasn't able to hold on to those gains and starts like losing at these rates is super scary to me. So Twitch is trying to solve this problem through like collaboration, but what they should invest 100% of their time into is discovery tools. So like the fact that we still don't have an upvoting system for clips, the fact that like we still can't like share moments within the website and like easily like so like for people that don't know, clips were made by one person. The guy comes to our Twitch chat pretty frequently and talks. And what they should have done is expand that team to like give that dude like 50 people, and they should have made those like totally the focus of the website is like algorithm driven funny content and like viral content that got people into watching other streams. And that would have distributed the viewership so that instead of having like a few power users that watch the same streamer for like 100 hours a month, you would have that broadcaster watching like 5 streamers instead. And then like, because of that, it would unlock more different types of users because there was like, so right now, like the benefit of YouTube is that there are a lot of small channels that can capture users' niche interests. But like on Twitch, if I go to like the directory and I go to like Grand Theft Auto, there might be a streamer down here in this list that appeals to me, but I'll just never know about them because they're completely indiscoverable. I'll only know about like the top like 4 or 5 people. So the problem is that like with YouTube, that stuff gets served out to you because the algorithm is good. But if this like 45 person viewer had like a popular clip that popped off on like a good system that shared that stuff, maybe some people that would have otherwise not discovered him would have discovered him instead. And the problem is there's just no answer for any of these streamers. Like this, all of these broadcasters, these thousands and thousands of broadcasters are just completely hosed in terms of discoverability. And they could be perfectly good streamers. Like they could be like absolutely great broadcasters in their own right. They probably are pretty good and pretty entertaining. And sadly, there's just no way to discover them. The only way to actually find them is if they make YouTube content or they use platforms of actual discoverability. These are problems that we talked about all the way back in 2020. So until Twitch like addresses the core issues of the like there, I just don't like kind of see the platform really succeeding in any meaningful way.